Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a lovely day so far. So in today's video, I am going to be recreating the makeup look that Makeup by Ariel did on Kylie Jenner maybe like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I don't know, but he did this like gorgeous brown and gold smoky eye which I have recreated and sort of a demi-matte skin with a nude lip, and I just absolutely love the look. I'll put a picture of it here so you can see what it looked like on her. But yeah, I absolutely love the makeup look, so I was like, I need to recreate this. So if you want to see sort of a step-by-step tutorial on how I did Kylie Jenner's makeup look, then please keep watching. I feel like I haven't sat down and done a makeup video in the longest time, which is probably because I haven't. I've been doing loads of clothing hauls and now I'm like, stop spending money because you've got no more money to spend, so it's back to the makeup looks. To start, I'm going to use the Wishful Honey Balm Jelly Moisturiser. I've been using this for a while now and I absolutely love it. So this is like Huda Beauty's skincare brand, it's called Wishful, and by looking at the picture of Kylie, her skin is kind of, it's not like super dewy, it's kind of matte. I'll just show you this picture, which is a screenshot from her Insta story. So you can see like here, it's like matte, and then down her nose, she's got highlight. So I really do love this moisturiser. I think it just gives you a really, really nice base for when you do your makeup. It also lasts for ages as well. It is quite expensive. I think it's like £45, but I use it every day and I've been using it every day for maybe 2 months and I'm like a quarter of the way through it, so I think it's worth it. Also, I do have a boob tube on. I do have a top on, but you can't see it. So looking at Kylie's makeup here, she does have quite a lot of eyeshadow on. So I am definitely going to start with the eyes and then go in and do my foundation afterwards. So to prime my eyes, I'm going to use the NYX Born to Glow concealer, and I'm using that in shade Natural. So what you want to do if you're starting off with eyes first, you actually want to bring the concealer like all the way across, and I know this looks really strange right now, but if you're sort of blending out and blending shades outwards, it's really hard to then do foundation around that if it's not blending into any product that's already on your skin. So if you do it like this, it makes it way easier then when you're putting your foundation on. Oh, all in my hair already, of course. And then I also like to do this above my eyebrows too. Because again, like I said, trying to do sort of foundation around your eyebrows that have already been done, you will know it's hard, and it means you have to sort of redo your eyebrows. So yeah, I would always do like a strip across my face if I'm starting with eyes because it just makes everything 10 times easier. And I'm just blending that in using my Huda Beauty sponge. Great. I absolutely love that concealer for a base as well because I feel like it's full coverage but super, super light still. I'm just going to set that using my Coty Airspun loose powder, which I use all the time, and then I've got this powder brush which is just my favourite powder brush ever, and it's just from like an Amazon set, so I'll link the brush set below that this is a part of, but it's really, really good. It is like the perfect size for a powder brush. I have quite oily eyelids as well, so I like to use a lot of powder. If you have oily eyelids or you find that your mascara transfers to your eyelid, try packing on loose powder on your eye because hopefully that should stop that from happening. So for Kylie's brows, they've actually gone quite far in. Normally I would do my brows just following my natural shape. So this is the picture she put on her Instagram, and you can see sort of her eyebrows have been brought really, really, really far in. They've been brought into like here, which I really would not normally do. But yeah, he's gone for like a very light touch here, and then they do get a lot stronger. And I'm going to be using the Misguided Micro Precision pencil, and this is in shade Super Dark. I really do like this pencil, I think it's really good. I'm just going to brush my brows. Also, this mark here is like old microblading, so we can just ignore that and imagine that's not there. You just want to really lightly do a line, draw a line at the start of your brow, and then bring it in a tiny bit more. And then I'm just rubbing it a bit to make it not as harsh, but you can use the spoolie to do that too. And then I'm just going to draw lines so lightly going up to try and make it look like it's my brow. And then I'm using the spoolie just to disperse that. So I think that's as far as I'm going to bring it in, because it is still quite far in compared to what I would normally do. So my natural brow finishes here, and then I brought that to there, which is quite far, but that is what Ariel has done on KYLIE. So that is one brow done, and I have filled it in like quite strong because that's what hers look like. Normally I would do it a lot lighter than that, but I want my makeup to look like KYLIE, so forget what I normally do, and I'm doing what Ariel has done. I'm just going to do the other one now. So eyebrows are now done. I'm going to set that in place with the Benefit Gimme Brow in shade 3. I actually really like this for a brow gel, and I do like that it is brown. I feel like it just adds a bit more depth to my brows rather than using a clear one. So looking at this picture, oh, swear I am just dropping everything. She's got like a brown smoky eye, and then she's done like a half cut crease with gold glitter. I'll put the picture up here so you can see. It is stunning, like it looks really, really, really nice. So I think I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette. And I'm going to start with this shade here, Sandalwood. And I'm picking that up on this fluffy brush, and this is a Morphe M533. I don't want a lot because I've not actually really used this palette, to be fair, so I don't know how pigmented it is, but based off the other Huda Beauty stuff I've got, it probably is quite pigmented. I'm going to start by putting that in the crease. I've just picked up a bit more because I think I blew off too much. And because she's got like the drawn out sort of foxy eyeshadow, I am dragging this out. KYLIE's shadow also seems to go like really far into the inner part of her eye, which is something I wouldn't normally do, but I'm gonna drag it inwards. Because that's how she has hers. And I'm just doing like a V on the outer corner. This brush is really good. If you don't have this brush, you need to get it because it's just like the perfect size for transition colours in the crease. I always use this one. Okay, so next it looks like underneath that transition shade is quite a deep brown. So I am gonna pick up, let's see, is it a warm? Yeah, it's definitely quite a warm brown. So I'm gonna pick up the shade Cocoa, which is this shade here. And I'm just gonna use this Morphe brush. This brush came in a set of like 10 as part of the Sweet Oasis collection. You can still get it though, and I would definitely recommend because I use these brushes all the time. So I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that. And I'm just going to place this shade like midway down my eye, if that makes sense. So like here. And again, I'm dragging that sort of quite far in into my eye. That is blending out really nice. Yeah, I haven't really used this palette before, but it does seem like it's really, really good. And then I'm just going back to that sort of V shape that I created earlier, and just going over that with this brown shade. So the only thing I will say about this shade of brown, it seems more red to me than brown. It's definitely veering more on the red side. So there isn't actually like a true brown in the rose gold palette. So I'm gonna get my Sweet Oasis palette, which is by Morphe. It's the 35S palette. It is so, so good. And get the shade Shady Spot with the same brush, and just try and deepen this sort of brown a little bit and make it more of a true brown. I think that has made such a difference. It's definitely more of a true brown now, and I think it definitely is starting to look more like KYLIE's eyeshadow. So yeah, when you're picking a brown for this, I'd just say try and look for one that's more brown rather than red. But it actually does look nice with the build-up of like all three shades on there. So now I'm going back in with the fluffy brush, and I'm just going to blend all that together. It obviously already is blended together, but I just like to create sort of a softer like transition between the shades. So you can see just doing that, I feel like made such a big difference. So I'm going to use this number 7 Stay Perfect Smoothing Eyeshadow, and I'm just going to put some on my hand, and then I've just picked that up on my, oh, a little bit of fluff, good old Amazon brush, and I'm going to cut the crease halfway because it looks like she only has a half cut crease. So I'm going to try that and see how it looks. I'm actually so hungry, like I really want a roast, but does anyone else feel like if you make a roast, then that is a loud bird. If you make a roast, you can't do anything else on a Sunday because that's like the whole day's activity. And I just don't have it in me to do that every Sunday. Like I don't, because it takes 5 hours if you actually do everything from scratch. Then you eat it in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, and it's taken you all day. Like, is it worth that? I don't know. I just don't know. Sometimes I'm like, it is, and sometimes I'm like, no. And today, no. What do you think, guys? Is it worth spending your whole Sunday cooking a roast? And this doesn't have to be like perfect either, guys, because looking at her eyeshadow, it's not like a super defined line. Like the line's definitely there, but it's not like perfect line. I'm just looking at hers, and she's actually brought it in a little bit more than I have. I mean, brought it out to the inner corner. That's a bit confusing. So that actually looks more like how she had it, so it's just bringing it in a little bit more. So now for the fun part. So they're like main, not main, but they're a bit of, not even bit, what am I trying to say? The part of this look that I like the most is like the gold eyeshadow. So I am gonna use the shade 24K, which is this one. Why is my hand like a claw? I don't know. This 24K shade, and this is again from the rose gold palette. And then I'm just picking this up on like a densely packed brush. It's like a small round brush, and this is from the same Amazon set. So yeah, I will link it for you guys because it is such a good brush set and I always use them. And I'm just gonna press that onto my eye. So it's actually not coming off that well. I don't know if you can see, but it's not as strong as I would want. So I'm gonna try and go in with my finger and see if that helps. Oh yeah, that is way better. Sometimes with foil shadows, you do just have to use your finger. What I'm actually gonna do to try and like neaten up this line is use that same tapered brush that I put the primer on, and I'm just gonna sort of wipe off the primer, and then the brush is still gonna be like a little bit damp, and I'm gonna just put that into the gold shade and see if I'm able to sort of neaten up the line. Yep, that did work. Oh my gosh, that looks so nice. But why is it making me think of like an Easter egg wrapper? Am I just greedy? I feel like I am. That's how you know I'm on a diet. Everything I see is reminding me of food. But I've been on this like health kick for maybe 2 weeks now, and I actually do feel a lot better. And I don't know if you're like me, but I really crave unhealthy food, and not like sweets and chocolate and stuff, but like fried food, like takeouts. The thought of that makes me feel like, But some people don't get that. So I feel like it's harder for me because the thought of any like takeouts, I'm like, I really want to eat that. But I've stuck to it for 2 weeks, and I feel like those cravings, if you're like me and you do crave like fried chicken all the time, if you stick to it for 2 weeks, those cravings really go. I feel like the longer you don't have something for, the less you crave it. And I do feel a lot better since I started this. Okay, so now onto the outer corner. So it looks like from the picture that she's got a really, I've got like eyeshadow in my nail, let's ignore that. But it looks like, oh my gosh, it's in loads of my nails. Right, let's just, I'm not using that hand. It looks like she's got a dark brown veering on black sort of outer corner that's being smoked out. So I'm gonna go back in with the Sweet Oasis palette and picking up the shade Shady Spot, and I'm just picking that up on a Morphe M562 brush. This is a really good brush for being really precise and smoking out the outer corner, so I'm just gonna press that onto the eye so you can see that is really pigmented. And then I'm just gonna drag it lightly out. And then I'm just blending it above slightly too. So I'm just taking a clean brush and I'm just gonna blend in that gold with the darker shade. And to do this, I'm just doing like tiny motions like that. Sort of left to right to blend those two together. Okay, and now I'm going back in with the big fluffy brush and I'm just blending the outer corner again. Just don't want any harsh lines. And then I'm going to create like a thin sort of tail. So that darker eyeshadow, because that's what KYLIE's looks like. And blending underneath. Eyeshadow is like a whole process. So she doesn't actually look like she's got any eyeliner on her eyes, so I'm not going to put any on, but I am going to put some lashes on because I think from the picture she's got extensions, eyelash extensions, which I obviously don't have on at the moment. Yeah, I need to give my eyelashes some love. So I'm going to start by curling my lashes, and then I'm going to use the Misguided mascara. This is the Real Thick Lash Mega Volume Mascara, and I love this mascara. It is so good, it doesn't transfer at all, and it's really affordable. It's like less than £10, so definitely recommend this mascara if you are looking for a new one. And then for lashes, I picked some up in Primark the other day. So they are the Double Trouble false eyelashes, and they were only £1. So I'm gonna pop those on, and I'm just gonna cut them halfway so that they are just sort of on the outer corner, so that it will hopefully look more like lash extensions, but we will see. Okay, eyelashes are on, and I actually love the way these look. They really like pull everything upwards because obviously I've cut them in half, so they're a lot fuller on the outer corner. So when you do like a fox eye or cat eye or whatever animal you want to call it eye, where everything's sort of dragged upwards, cutting your eyelashes in half really, I think, like enhances that. So really like the way that looks. So onto skin. I'm just looking at the picture of KYLIE's makeup, and her skin looks kind of dewy, or it's kind of a demi matte, I'd say. It's like matte but with a definite sort of sheen. It's not like a full matte, so yeah, like a demi matte. So I think I'm gonna go in with the good old, it's not old because it only came out a few months ago, but the Kat Von D Good Apple Foundation. So I've got this in shade medium 054. I'm going to pick that up on a buffing brush, and this is also a brush from Amazon. I got it in a set off Amazon, but it's a different set to the other ones I've shown you, so I will link that below as well. But any buffing brush will do. I've obviously already primed my skin with the moisturiser earlier, so I'm just going to go in with this foundation. KYLIE's foundation did look very full coverage too, so this foundation is perfect for that because it is extremely full coverage. Literally covers everything. It's crazy. This foundation really does just go on so easily. If you struggle to blend in your foundation, try getting this, because as you can see, I'm doing like nothing and it's perfectly blended in. I'm so excited for Love Island to start. It's like a guilty pleasure. It's not even a guilty pleasure because I don't even mind saying that I like Love Island, because I do. I actually love it. So good having something to watch every night as well, because I don't know about you, but I always get to the end of the day and I'm like, what shall I watch? And by the time I found something to watch, which takes me probably like an hour, I'm like, I can't even be bothered to watch anything anymore because I'm over it. It's taken me that long. So I love the fact that Love Island is every day. Do you see what I mean about what I said earlier with your eyebrows? Because now that I've already put concealer around my brows, I don't have to try and sort of go perfectly around my eyebrows with my foundation, because there's already product there that's sort of a similar colour, so it all just blends in. I love the way this foundation looks, and I think it's got just the right amount of sheen, so that it does look like the one that KYLIE has got on. So then to conceal, I'm just going to use the NYX Born to Glow that we used earlier on my eyes, and I'm just putting that under my eyes and a little bit here and a little bit here, because apparently that makes you look more lifted. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And then just around my nose, and then a tiny bit just in the centre of my forehead, and a little bit on my chin. And then I'm just using the Huda Beauty sponge to blend that in. It's so weird in England. It was boiling hot, literally like, I don't know, like 25 degrees in London, and now it's just gone to like 13 degrees. It's so crazy, like you can never rely on the weather in this country. I actually don't mind though, because I was feeling really like pressured that I had to be doing something fun all the time because it was summer, not because it was summer, sorry, because it was hot. So if it was hot and sunny and I'm inside doing nothing, I really felt like the pressure that I needed to like make plans and go outside and go for drinks and this and the other. So I'm actually not that annoyed that we've got a few days of cold, cloudy weather, because it means I can stay in and watch films and binge a series without feeling bad. Okay, so looking at KYLIE's makeup, she has an extremely bright under eye. I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Instant Age Eraser in the shade Ivory, and I'm just going to put a tiny little bit just right under each eye, and then just a dot down the sides of my nose to like reverse contour. I'm going to get the same sponge and blend that in, but I'm trying not to sort of disperse that like I was with the other concealer, because I just want it in that one spot. Kylie's looking very contoured in that picture, so I'm gonna use a cream contour and I'm gonna use the LA Girl Pro Concealer, and this is in the shade Toast. If anyone used to watch KYLIE Bible, but from like 10 years ago, she used to always use this, and that is what made me buy this, and it's actually really, really good. I really like it. It does look like it's like super dark, but it's not that dark. Like when you blend it in, it's not that dark. And then a little bit along my jaw. And then to blend that in, I'm just using the same brush that I put the foundation on with, and I'm just patting it into the skin. I'm actually proper hungry. I think that's like the downfall every time I'm on a diet, or you shouldn't say on a diet, every time I'm eating healthy, but whatever it is, basically a diet. I always don't eat until I'm really hungry, but not on purpose. I feel like my hunger just like creeps up on me. Like I'm not hungry at all, and then suddenly I'm like starving. My hunger's like, hello, out of nowhere. And that's when I always fail and like order something bad. So I'm trying to get into the habit of eating like sooner, so not letting myself get starving, because that is when bad decisions are made. So yeah, trying to do that, but obviously I failed at that today because I'm very hungry. And then I'm going to go back in with the sponge that I did the concealer with and just make sure it's all blended in nicely. Okay, so now to set all that, I'm picking up a bit more of that loose powder on the same brush I picked up earlier. So now I'm gonna set the cream contour, and I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzer in the shade Saddle, and Shock Horror, got another Amazon brush. Also, my boyfriend just came in and was like, do you want to go get a... I said, well, I was hinting like we all do. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to go to the shop after this. He's like, why? I was like, to buy some potatoes, because I'm really craving roast potatoes. And just looked at me like, what do you really want? He was like, do you want to go to the place next door for a roast? I was like, yep. So, very excited because I'm going there. Very happy about that. And then, yeah, the brush, I don't know if I already said this, but it's just another Amazon one from the set that I have been using a lot. I'm just putting a little bit of this on because it is quite dark, but I do really like it. And Kylie does look quite bronzed. So Kylie's definitely got like a nose contour going on in that picture. So I'm just gonna get the same bronzer brush and powder bronze the tip of my nose, and then I just bring it like down the bridge of my nose like this. And that is how I like to contour. And then what I like to do is grab like this palette that I got off Amazon, I'll link it below, but this shade here, you can tell I'm like at the pan already. Grab some of that shade, and then I'm just gonna put some on my sponge and drag it down the sides of my nose. And then I'm picking up my highlighter, so it's Revolution Highlighter Reloaded in Raise the Bar, and I've just got that on my finger, and I'm just gonna put a little bit on the tip of my nose. And she's actually got a really nice like pinky blush on. So it looks like quite a peachy pink, so I'm gonna go in with this blush, which is by H&B Cosmetics, in the shade Self Made. Just checking to see whereabouts they've placed this blush, and it's around here. This is definitely my favourite blusher. Absolutely love it. This is actually coming out surprisingly well. Like, it does actually look like her makeup. I know I sound really surprised, so you're probably thinking, why did you even bother trying to do this if you didn't think it was going to work? But I did, and then when I started it and sat down, I was like, oh, I don't know. But luckily, it's looking good. I hope you think so too. But yeah, I think it's looking good. I'm just going to look at what she's got under her eye. So it looks like she's got like a brown, I don't know if you can see. She's got like quite a deep brown that comes quite far down under her eye. So I'm actually going to pick up the bronzer. The bronzer that I just used, the Anastasia one. And then I'm using this Morphe M507 brush. I'm just going to see what that looks like. And then just connect that under eye to the eyeshadow you did earlier. That actually does look pretty similar to what KYLIE had on. I'm gonna do the other side. Yeah, it doesn't look like she's got any other shadow. It looks like it is just one colour that has been brought quite far down. So I'm gonna leave it like that. Then I'm just gonna put some mascara on my lower lashes. Okay, next up is lips, and it took me such a long time to try and figure out like what the perfect sort of nude pink shade would be, because I'll put it on the screen again, a picture somewhere here. KYLIE's got like a really nice sort of nude, but like sort of pinky lip. So what I decided on was this Gosh lip pencil in Raisin. So I'm going to put that on first, and KYLIE's lips do look quite overdrawn, so I'm going to overdraw mine a bit too. Saying that as if I don't already overdraw my lips, or overline my lips, because I do. So I was going to use MAC Velvet Teddy because I swatched this on my hand to see if it was like the right sort of pink. And then I also swatched this Maybelline Superstay in shade Seductress, and they are exactly the same colour, like exactly the same, apart from Velvet Teddy. How much are MAC lipsticks? Like £15, I think. And then this Maybelline one is like less than £10. So if you're a fan of Velvet Teddy, try this out in Seductress, because I'm not joking. It is the exact same. I swatched them side by side, so yeah. But I think this pink is really similar to the one that KYLIE has on. I'm going over with a lip gloss, and it's coloured lip gloss, and it's quite a pale pink. So this is by H&B Cosmetics, and it's in the shade Stop It. So KYLIE does look like she's got some highlight on the inner corner, so I'm going to pick up some of that highlighter I used earlier and just put some on the inner corner of my eye. And then she looks like she might have some really high on her cheekbones, but it's quite hard to tell, so I'm just going to put a tiny little bit. So finally, I'm going to use my Revolution Hyaluronic Fix Plumping Makeup Fixing Spray, just to make sure everything... Don't talk when you do that. Oh, horrible. Just to make sure everything is nice and dewy, because yeah, we don't want anything super matte. So this is the finished makeup look. I'll just zoom you in so you can see like my eyes and stuff up close. This is what my eyes look like. I feel like this does look like what KYLIE's eyes look like, so I'm really happy with how this came out. And then for the skin, I do think it looks quite similar to what she's used too. So yeah, this is the final look. So please subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.